Hey everybody, welcome to P2G's Digital Financial Literacy Introduction, or I should say info session for small businesses. Welcome. I'm really excited to teach you a little bit about what the P2G method, P2G digital financial literacy method is. Um, I know there's been a lot of confusion as to, DeFi, what to do, how to do it, wallets, crypto, coins. What do we follow? Well, what if you didn't have to follow anything? What if you just had to learn? Once you learn, you could make a choice. And so many things are happening great in the world, but we've got to deal with what's happening on a larger scale, my family. Things that happen on a large scale affect us on the smallest scale. And so we're going to have a little talk about what is going on in the economy. And then we're going to bring it in to this very live session where you will get a link if you would like to come into a live session tonight and talk about it and just get some information and throw around the information that's available. And then you can sign up for an actual training at your leisure, at your choice, because sweetheart, times are changing and there's lots of opportunity out there, but you can't wait. Let's get it going. I'll see you. So I'm your host of Ruby T. Y'all know me. I'm Miss P2G up in this bug, having a lot of fun, and we are going to just take it from there. All right. Why not?
With global debt nowadays staggering 300 trillion.
Roughly the size of the entire global economy, my guest today warns of what he calls the Stalingrad moment of the dollar, a tipping point driven by debt traps, Fed illusions, and central banks dumping U.S. treasuries for gold. He sees gold not just as an asset, but as a lifeboat in this unfolding crisis, potentially signaling a global financial reset. Please welcome back to the show Matthew Piepenburg. He's a former transactional attorney and hedge fund manager who navigated the NASDAQ bubble of the early 2000s. He's also the author of Rigged to Fail and a vocal critic of unchecked sovereign debt and currency debasement. Matthew, as always, a pleasure to speak with you. Welcome back.
Well, it's always a pleasure to speak with you, and I'm glad to be back, so thanks for having me.
Look, it's a pivotal moment as we're speaking gold, getting that much awaited four handle that anyone in this gold space has been waiting for years. And obviously, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And I want to talk and start with what you've dubbed the Stalingrad moment for the dollar. You say this is a pattern that has repeated throughout history. It's not just clickbait, but something we must be paying attention to so we don't fall in this trap. Matthew, please take some time to really explain to our audience why we have to be paying attention to the dollar scene right now.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. I mean, there's so much, I don't want to say clickbait. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of sensationalism in the gold space for years. There's this pawn shop asset kind of reputation, and certainly there's all of us in our book, talking our book, biased about gold. But I want to get away from just being an executive in Zurich talking gold, because it's really not about gold. It's about fiat money. It's about the dollar. It's about the history of fiat money. And it's really theft. And it's not mistaken theft or stupid theft. It's deliberate policy theft when countries are in debt up to their ears and no longer have good options. And they take from the people, and that's not a desperate act. It's really a cyclical act. And to put that into perspective, again, it just needs get away from boring themes and boring economists and just stick to some real historical moments. And then that helps build, I think, a case of placing the headlines into context without getting bogged down in a lot of gross history. But I wrote a book in 2019 called Rigged to Fail. And it's a game, really, Wall Street, and what I've seen in it, what I've studied, what I practiced in it. And unless you are prepared for this rigged to fail game, unless you're informed, you're going to be on the losing side, because the policymakers are not your friends. And that sounds sensational and maybe clickbaity, but it really is the debasement and devaluation of currency to monetize debt. That's open theft, but it's frog boiled. It's very slow, but it repeats itself over and over. When policymakers are at that Waterloo or Stalingrad moment where there's nothing left to do but debase the currency to monetize their debt, and they can continue this game slowly and frog boil it eventually, but eventually we feel it. And eventually the man on the street loses, because Wall Street, as a metaphor, is very, very different set of values than Main Street. And there's a lot of dishonesty and cyclical natures of this. And what I see, and I'll try to do this really quick so we can pull on all the other strings. But I see in historical patterns from honest economists that go back to the 1500s to the 1970s to today,
Yeah.
these patterns, and then current headlines, objective facts that are really confirming what is fatal math for the US dollar. Because what we're seeing is a credit cycle ending, which is really a dollar cycle ending. And as that debt credit balloon approaches a poppy moment, that doesn't mean a stock market poppy moment, it means a credit debt moment. And when that pops, the currency used to monetize that debt is always debased and devalued, and it melts like an ice cube. And governments, through their deliberately debased fiat money, are really insulting their citizens in a very slow and deliberate but intentionally complex frog boil. So again, policymakers are not your friend. And the way to put this into some historical context, and I'll stop in 3 minutes and we'll pull on any string you want. But look, from the 1750s, from David Hume, we know one thing: debt always destroys currencies. And there was Sir Thomas Gresham from Gresham's Law in the 1500s in England, who said that trusted money, when it circulates at the same time as debased currency, eventually people will spend the bad and hoard the good. They'll figure out that the fiat money is bad and that hard assets like gold are good. And eventually they'll replace the bad altogether. And that's what this other economist from the 18th century, a French guy named Adolphe Thiers, said. In a crisis, real money drives out the bad currency. And again, we saw this with Rome, in ancient Rome, with the denarius. It was all silver. And over a period of 200 years, they chipped away all the silver. It had no silver. We saw this in medieval Europe when gold was replaced with copper. Clearly, the more modern examples like Weimar in the 1920s, when prices were doubling every week, no one wanted to hold marks. They were like hot potatoes. So they fled to other currencies at the time, like the dollar, or even cigarettes, or barter, or gold. And then there are the classic examples in Zimbabwe or Venezuela. But these are all patterns that we can see. We could spend hours on each of these kind of historical moments. But the current headlines really are showing that, just as Thomas Gresham and Adolphe Thiers had warned, that the debasement of paper money leads to the preference for real money, that is gold, over like fiat toilet paper.
Always. All right, we're going to stop right there because the conversation needs to happen. What are they talking about? Debasement of the dollar, of debasement, or I should say the dropping to the bottom. Dropping to the bottom, literally unleveling the dollar. Now, how my question is let's try to break it down. Do you feel it? Can you feel it? Mr. Thomas, can you feel it? Can you feel the loss of the value of your dollar? Have you begun to get that? That's what's happening at the supermarket, the gas station, going to work, getting on it, whatever transportation you got to go to. Is that what you're feeling? They can't hear you, Mr. Thomas. Not a good idea.
You go shopping.
So we're not going to do that. But for tonight, I want to share with you all, the conversation is just opened up. You've seen it. This is not some fly by night. I want you guys to check out who this platform is, ITM Trading, what they study and who they present, who this gentleman is they're talking about. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it before it's too late. P2G has been on this road to helping people recover for several years now, and a lot of people have been helping. We've been building on this platform and building on our partnerships and friendships with people in the space so that we can work together and accomplish that which we cannot depend on from governments: effective communication and translation of the information. So we invite you guys to come to Pennies to Gold, where you can learn the digital financial literacy method that we use to help people understand from the very beginning to the end, to get the hang of it, because it's a lot, y'all. But if you eat it in small, you take it in small bites and it's hands-on, you think you can get it? I think you can get it. So go to p2gnetworks.com, you go there, and you just go to our class schedule and take a look at some of the things that the places we have classes available. where our next digital financial literacy class will be on October 9th, October 6th. Oh, November 6th. Al, help me out. November 6th. So you have some time. And yes, Miss Kia, yes, I get it. Because if you don't feel it, then obviously you must be under a rock somewhere. Because it is prevalent in our communities. But we don't have to fall victim to those methods of those who are lawmakers that will change the dollar from up under us. We don't have to not believe it and not get what we need. As you can see, there are many, many different types of assets around me, and we work with all of them. We teach you to work with all of them. So come and join us. See what we got planned for November. It's exciting what's happening here on the P2G networks. The Digital Financial Literacy Program is outrageous. Ask so many who have taken it. It's amazing. And sometimes it's on different platforms. And to this month, it's going to be on P2G networks. Next month, it's probably going to be in a live area in Harlem, because digital financial literacy is for everyone. So come and join us. We got to get ready. We got folks in sets ready to learn about how this is working, what we're getting ready to do. It's kind of exciting. I'll see you guys all soon. Peace and love. Keep doing what you're doing, because baby, it's leading you to the right stuff. Oh, I love that. Yes, we can plan for it in Connecticut. I'm looking forward to coming out. Let me know. You invite me, we'll bring it. That's right. Let's go. Tell me where you want us to go, and P2G and digital financial literacy will be there too for you.